What is up, Taurus Squad? Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. So happy to have all the Tauruses in the house with me. Happy January, happy 2020. I hope this video finds you guys well. We are going to do your January monthly tarot spread. Because I am doing general readings on YouTube, not everything I say will resonate with all the Tauruses out there. That means it's up to you guys to come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind. Not everything I say will resonate, so it is up to you to take away only the messages that you feel are for your best and highest good. Taurus, you will know intuitively what those messages are. If something doesn't fit your circumstance or scenario, drop it like it's hot. That means it's probably not your energy. It's probably someone else that I'm picking up on. But with that, the PS is that give these messages time to resonate, not just here and now, in a few hours, in a few days, even in a few weeks. If it's your message, it's your message, right? I hope lots and lots of this clicks for you. What else do you need to know? Everything else is written in the description box below, including the decks I'm using here today, as well as my social media. I am The Intuitive Teacup on Facebook and Instagram. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe wherever you can, wherever possible. That helps me, that helps this channel a whole lot, gain traction and get those messages out there. We're gonna hop into your reading. One last thing, meta vibes. My friend Jen has been instrumental in my path into spirituality and tarot. She literally was the first person to show me what tarot was many moons ago. She's starting her own channel called Meta Vibes. Check her out. She's fresh out the gate on YouTube. So yeah, I think she only has a video or two up. But yeah, if you're interested in more than just tarot, it's like cool spiritual stuff. She's a badass. She is a Taurus. That's why I bring it to your attention. Good vibes, good energy. Check her out if you are interested. All right, let's do it, Taurus. Let's hop into your reading. Ooh, all right, interesting. And Page of Swords. Wow, Aquarius had a lot of similar cards. This is bottom of your deck. So wrapping up a cycle, karmic cycles, right? In Capricorn season, we're kind of forced to go toe-to-toe with the devil, no pun intended. But yeah, I mean, Capricorns are the sign of the devil, or the tarot card, the devil. So yeah, we're being forced to look back in our lives and look at karmic relationships, karmic partnerships, things that didn't work out, that we're struggling with either mentally or even emotionally. I mean, it is something through the heart space, but with the 3, there's an imbalance here. So something in the head, there's an imbalance. It's awkward. You haven't quite figured it out yet. You aren't at a place where you can like rest peacefully. So yeah, there's a little upheaval. There's something that you're still either wanting to say or communicate to someone, but I have to be honest, what I got from this was a lower vibration. It's almost like you want to get the last word in, or you want to tell somebody off. You want to like right the wrong of what somebody did to you. But because, and no shade, right? Only take what resonates, Taurus. Because you are still potentially in a state of heartbreak, sadness, depression, disappointment, even overwhelmed, I heard. You might not be thinking clearly. And the reason I say that is because it's presenting as the page. The page in tarot is representative of a messenger. So sure, a message about heartbreak, a message about, you know, sadness or loss or sorrow. Or it can also represent children, something innocent, something, it's the student, specifically the student of knowledge, of swords, of communication. So what I'm getting at here is there's room for growth. You could do this almost in a higher vibration if you were to sit on it a little longer. And I do want to say work through the pain. You may have some epiphany or clarity that actually wraps up this karmic cycle, interestingly enough, without having to communicate what you thought. And if it doesn't have to do with communicate, like verbal communication, there may be some sort of idea, messenger, right? Communication from spirit or God where you understand now. Something clicks. You get the message. And I do want to say, it's almost like the 3 and the 1 make the 4. You can rest peacefully at night now. You can take a break. You can do the healing work, right? And you won't be so stuck in this sort of struggle. I'm going to throw another one on it. Any more specific reason why these cards are coming up is, I almost called you Libra. Maybe you're dealing with a Libra. In Taurus's energy, getting to the root of the cause, the root of the problem in a relationship. Why are people feeling at odds with each other? Why was there heartbreak? Why was there disarray in the way you guys deal with each other? And it doesn't have to be romantic, right? Wow, you got Page of Swords twice. Interesting. I love this card. I just want you to appreciate how beautiful the artwork is. So amazing. All right, so here's what I'm getting from this. You have 2 pages, so instantly, and especially, you know, karmic cycles, right? Twin flame, 2 pages, the same card twice, right? Someone is putting in all the work, someone is putting in the effort, someone is fighting for the relationship. The other person is off in dreamland. The other person is maybe, they could literally be enrolled in courses, doing something for their degree to gain knowledge. They might literally be a student, right? They may be too involved in work. They may have overcommitted themselves. Or I'm going to say it too, this isn't for everyone, but for a select few, they're just flat out not interested. And that has been a very difficult lesson to learn, because maybe early on they showed signs that, you know, they did like you. Maybe this person was so naive. They rushed into a relationship with you and promised you, you know, the sun and the moon and the stars and marriage and babies and I love you. And then as it turns out, it's like their interest just kind of, I'm almost getting like the fizzle of like the fizzle of a relationship, the snuffing out of like a cigarette butt, the snuffing out of a flame. It's like the spark was gone, the fire died for them. And I think, and feel free to reverse the roles, right? I think some of you didn't understand that, and so there was a desire to fight for it, to, you know, hold up your sword and fight for that person, to stick up for that person, to take a bullet for that person, metaphorically, right? But as it turned out, they're doing their own thing, for better or worse, right? And I know that's a really tricky message to hear, so we'll dig deeper into it, but or if it's not that, it could even be fighting for a job title or a job position with your equal, with your counterpart. Maybe you're going up against your best friend. Maybe this has to do with a sibling relationship. Maybe you literally have a twin brother or a twin sister. And I still say, even if that's the case, though, that's what's between you guys. So again, you don't have to put this in romantic context, but for a lot of you, it feels like that's what it is. And with this, it does sort of seem like there's a closing out of what's been a very difficult cycle that you've had to endure, maybe for years. Yeah, it's time to get healthy again. It's time to get rooted, particularly in Capricorn season, that nice earthy sign like you, Taurus. It's time to get grounded and focus on focus on what is practical, what is going to help you progress. Focus on the logic. It's not a time to get lost in your emotions. Or even lost in thought, really. It's something about the practical, the earth, the 3D realm, things you can reach out and touch. Yeah, this is at the bottom of your deck. Yeah, it's time to like blow. Wow, let me try that again. It's time to bloom and grow again. And okay, so here's something weird. Also 5, card of the Hierophant, that's you, Taurus. I like seeing that. Commit to your path of growth. And also something about this looking almost like a chia pet. It's like your knowledge, allowing your brain to develop more. And maybe you're going back to school. Maybe you're doing some sort of like pursuit of knowledge or pursuit of information in order to grow spiritually, to grow as a person. I accidentally was mixing the term bloom and grow, and I said blow. That actually is significant because it's like how I keep getting the imagery of a fire being snuffed out, and the idea that if you want passion to grow again, what does fire need? It needs oxygen. You need to blow on it. You need to reignite the spark that this relationship had in the past. If any of you desire reconciliation, again, with your sister, with your mother, with your brother, with your neighbor, whoever this is, it's going to require effort and some sort of passion, because there's no fire here. Like, the fire is dead. The spark has been lost. It's like you need to add oxygen to the flame to get this going again. And if it doesn't have to do with rekindling a relationship, that word rekindling, it's getting your passion back for where you want to grow or what you want to grow. Maybe this is representative of your business, right? So what's going on in your subconscious? Fear of loss, fear of abandonment, fear of hardship, hard times, fear of your bank account not being healthy, fear of being kicked out of the house, fear of not paying your bills on time. Let's throw some clarifiers on it. Fear of being held back by someone, fear that you missed out on an opportunity. Fear that you're making this situation harder on yourself than it needs to be. So clarifying it as the Seven of Swords and the King of Pentacles. I gotta pause you guys real quick. I'm so sorry, guys. I was coughing so bad I had to pause you there. So clarifying this fear of hardship. I do think it's a fear. It may have to do with the idea if you were to speak your truth, if you were to speak your mind, if you were to take some sort of risk, go out on a limb, pun intended, and say something to this person who's caused all this strife or heartbreak or anguish, whatever this is, if you were to call this person out on, you're lazy, you don't pay attention to me, you don't contribute to the family, you don't whatever, I think there's a fear that they would leave you. Whatever that means. If it's not, maybe you don't live together, right? But they would leave the friendship. They would, it's almost like both of you are going through a difficult time, and that may have been something that even subconsciously you bonded over. It could have been you were both fighting some sort of addiction. It could have been you were both struggling financially. There was some similarity here. I mean, literally they're being shown as twins. Again, twin flames if you believe in that. Destiny brought you guys together to walk this path, at least on some sort of timeline together, right? Going through this like potentially awkward phase or awkward challenge together, there may have been some sort of like you bonded and forged this friendship or whatever, but I'm not sure it was destined for you guys to walk down this path together forever. Now, something about this is the fear of the liar, cheater, thief, and this is your card, King of Pentacles, Taurus. It's almost like there's an imbalance, or you're trying to balance out the scales, a card of Libra, by the way. If I say my truth, I risk losing them, but if I don't, I risk being unhappy in this relationship for the rest of my life. In your subconscious, I think a lot of you are struggling with the concept of, is it better to be alone and happy versus is it better to be with someone and angry, sad, feeling like you're alone even when you're with them? Now, when I say that and present that information to you, it seems obvious. Who wouldn't want to be happy? That's clearly the choice. But not necessarily. There's the liar, cheater, thief. Take that with a grain of salt, right? But somebody doing something sneaky, clandestine, right? Maybe this person flirts with other people. Maybe they've never cheated, but there's obviously you don't like that, right? I am getting something about if you were to actually step forward and fight for the relationship, but speak your truth. Again, how I was saying, it's being presented as a page. There might be a more mature way to do this, in which case, if you were to go in with that pain and heartbreak, you know, coming to the surface, that's what I mean. I feel like you guys are nervous you're going to say or do something you're going to regret, and it will go from 2 to 1. And maybe maybe it's all with a coworker. But I like this card. Look how happy he looks. He knows his truth. He goes about things very practically, right? He thinks about the long-term potential for growth, right? He's thinking about this tree, right? He's nurtured this tree since it was a little seedling, right? That's it right there. There is so much room for growth and development and potential individually. It's almost like you have to find people on your team who have the same ideas, who have the same goals, who have the same mindsets. And interestingly enough, I'm showing them to you this way now, just purely accidentally, right? Or was it? They're faced in opposite directions. It's like you guys seem to have hit a wall or a plateau, right? If you're still together, where communication isn't good. This person's got their head in a book and this person isn't even looking the right way. That's what's bridging this relationship. It's difficult. It's strained at best. But some of you are afraid to be alone. And some of you are something questioning loyalty or commitment. And I will say that could be on your part too. Maybe you're not certain this is your person, but the idea of moving away from them is too much to bear. So it's like you're sort of splitting the difference and staying with them until you find the next one, even though this relationship might be lacking love, might be lacking passion. This could all relate to the job, right? Maybe it's not a job you love, but you know, by necessity, if you were to like come forward and say that you weren't happy, you risk losing your job, and then, oh my God, how are you going to pay rent? How are you going to feed the kids? How are you know what I mean? There's a desire to go a side route and achieve some sort of happiness. clarify the Seven of Swords in the subconscious. There's a desire to sneak away. And maybe that's your person, maybe you're suspicious of your person, but for most of you, it's your energy. You're going, and this could just represent struggling in any sort of relationship, though it does feel kind of romantic for some of you. You want to get out of that situation, and it feels like you want there to be an easy solution, but I can tell you right now, just there isn't. With the cards it's presenting, it's not that there isn't a solution. There is, and we'll see what comes up here. But it's not going to be an easy one. It's not going to be an effortless one where it's just like, oh, I love you too. Like, there's been some deep wounds. There's been some deep cuts here. Some of you are wanting to move towards an Aries, or again, change careers. So some of you may be going on like job interviews while you're actually at your current job. Like you may be sneaking into the bathroom to take like a phone interview or something like that. Some of you are suspicious that your person is involved with a Pisces. And some of you are afraid to come forward and admit that you truly have lost passion for this thing, for this career, for this person, and that you actually do have some clarity, you do have some idea on what it is that you want to go after career-wise, but it would involve a huge risk that other people would see as I keep hearing lunacy, crazy. It may be something very untraditional. It may be something you've always dreamed about doing. It could be something involved in like an entertainment, like public career, the arts, performing. So it would be a risk in that like it's not the typical, banker's job, or it's not being a teacher. You know what I mean? It's not like a very standardized profession. It's something a little bit wacky. It's something a little bit crazy. But there is potential for money to be made there. And it's almost like you, in that case, it's almost like you are being encouraged to, like, mum's the word. If you're going to do it, Taurus, just go after it. It's not something you necessarily need to ask permission to do, to move forward with. There may be some sort of financial risk, and maybe that's what's holding you back, is you would have to ask for money, from, I don't know, borrow from mom and dad or borrow from the bank. Maybe it's a loan, right? Money isn't certain at this moment, and I think you're worried about losing like your creature comforts. But there is something that is more in alignment with your passion that you want to move forward with, but it's like you really have to fight for it. And it's probably involving a career for some of you with the Emperor coming up. Heavy Aries and Pisces energy here, so that may be strong in your chart, or it might be something that you want to move towards. Some of you, this is an interesting message. Some of you like either got pregnant or had a pregnancy scare, and the father or potential father, baby daddy, however you want to say it, snuck away. Like they didn't take responsibility for it and left you to fend for like the seed yourself. Whether you're male or female, and it could go other like opposite way. Like the female could have left the relationship, but I'm sort of getting like you were stuck with the responsibility, so maybe they're not providing child support or whatever that is. That's like a random message for some. And I don't know why that's coming in as a subconscious, but maybe that's something you haven't dealt with yet. Maybe that's some sort of, that's sort of a strain on this relationship, and maybe you are trying to close out a cycle peacefully so that things can go back to back to status quo or back to how they used to be. There's a lot of messages going on here, so I have a feeling this is not going to be everybody's story, but what's going on in the past? King of Cups, all right. And Page of Cups. All right, so again, I'm getting father and child here. Two people who want to share cups. An unequal distribution of power, though. I mean, look at the dynamic. It's the king and the page, right? He holds the reins. He calls the shots, right? And this person serves him. That's sort of what I'm getting. So an unequal distribution of power, especially, something about the Aries. Somebody was more invested in a relationship than the other person. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces are very prominent in both these cards, particularly Scorpio. One person may have been reliant money-wise on the other, and maybe that's why you're having trouble reconciling this or figuring it out, is because maybe someone doesn't have a job and the other person, you know, is making all the money. It could be something like that. Money plays a big part in this. In your subconscious, you have the Emperor and the King of Pentacles. You're questioning who's loyal, who you want to keep on your team, who you want to work with, or who you want to work for. Yeah, there could potentially be third-party situation stuff going on here in your past. It feels like someone's offering their cup, their love, and they're being blocked. Someone's turning a blind eye. Someone's not acknowledging the offer. And it's because the other person, you have Five of Pentacles again. I don't know if the other person is rejecting one because they don't make enough money, or they don't think the offer is sincere. They see the other person as not being in a good place to commit, to grow the relationship. Yeah, five of Pentacles again. Struggle, financial struggle potentially, could be standing in the way of this relationship getting off the ground or developing further. Because maybe somebody needs to put more energy into their job, into their career, and it could be like a quick fix to, you know, looking for love, looking for that person to be your savior, to be your rescue person. But if that's the case, it's almost like spirit, universe, God. It's almost like they're acting as an obstacle or a barrier between these people. Because spirit is like rooting for you to get your life on track before these twins, before these people can come together and work in harmony. It's like you both need to be equals. You both need to be able to equally give to the relationship. And that's what this is saying to me. Something here is unequal. It might be money. It might be interest in the relationship, how much love flow between the cups. It's imbalanced. And that's creating a wedge in the relationship. And again, something with finances here is factoring into it. So let's look at your goals. What's going on there? Your goals is a reunion and a commitment. Yeah, I think some of you still really love this person, whether it's your twin flame, your sister, your lover, your this or that. Some of you are desiring establishing peace among potentially a group. This could all be with coworkers. Committing to each other, committing to each other's being each other's like emotional support system. Again, the cups supporting one another, the love flowing in the relationship again. Again, your card. Also, you want a raise or you want a promotion. You want to be recognized in the workplace. And if it's not that, you want to be recognized in the home for all that you contribute to what you do for the family. You want to stand out. You want people to celebrate you. You don't want to be treated like a page, right? That's sort of the power dynamic I'm getting. This feels cold. Usually this is my king of love, my king of faith, spirituality. It feels like he's not acknowledging his own child. And maybe you are the child, whether you're, 26 or 56, you still may be having difficult relations with a parent or a parental figure or even a boss who doesn't see you. You want to be recognized and celebrated. You want there to be joy and harmony in this relationship again, but for some of you, there may have been third-party stuff going on. And if that's the case, it's like you finally want your person to like drop the other one and commit. And that card did come up for a reason, Somebody may have been doing some stuff on the side, and your subconscious knows it. You feel it internally. You may have had a dream about it and woken up and been like, oh shit, that's why they're acting strange. Like something for you clicks in the subconscious. So there's a need for you to tap into that even more. Again, do a dream journal, meditate, something where you can get in touch with like a higher source, higher power, because maybe this is the spy card. Maybe you're spying on someone. You're like, what's going on in their head? I can't read their mind. You're trying to figure out like, why are they cold? Why are they distant? Why have they stopped reaching out? Why are they ignoring all my offers? And maybe this represents an apology, right? That's what this could be too, some sort of showing of the heart space. All right, so what's coming in for my Tauruses in the next couple weeks? The High Priestess. All right, so getting in touch with your intuition, with your subconscious. I like that. Also a card of Cancer. For me, it's the card of motherhood too. So some of you, if any of that resonated about like a baby daddy that took off, like, yeah, there could be a baby involved. I think you would already know at this point, so I'm not necessarily saying like, oh, careful of pregnancy. But yes, always, if you're not looking to conceive, right? Something about the mother might be important here, especially, okay, if there is an awkward dynamic between child and father, the mother may help reconcile the two, like the dark and the light, she stands between them. This could be like a mediator, even if it's not literally your mother, someone who's very, it's interesting, someone who is more receptive, someone who's very passive. What's sort of throwing me a little bit is the High Priestess is the silent woman, the secret woman. So in which case, I still think that like, these two are going to duke it out, and you're one of them, Taurus, right? I do think there is going to be some conversation here about disappointment, sorrow, heartbreak, you know, the barriers and the obstacles standing in the way of this relationship from thriving. But I don't know if you're the child or maybe you're the father, Taurus. Something about the mother is going to be important here, and maybe the mother isn't in the picture anymore. Maybe she passed. Maybe she's not around. I don't know if it's something about the memory of that will bring you two together. Something about the mother might be key in this. And I don't think she's going to be the communicator between you two, though that could be. But for most of you, it's like she's silent, and yet she brings the two together. She's going to help reconcile it. I want to say like without words, non-verbally. Some of you may even have a mother that like does sign language. That's kind of an unusual message to come through here, but yeah. Yeah, and I actually said that a lot in the Pisces reading. Maybe that has to do with some of you guys, Taurus. The other thing, because it did come up about third-party situations and finally getting that person to commit, right? Worrying that they were, you know, sneaking away at night, doing things very like clandestine and shady. What may come to the surface, because it only exists right now in your intuition, that someone may be fooling around. What might be coming in is the third party, is the secret woman, if that makes sense. And I don't like to do like readings that are like fear-based, like, oh my god, they might be cheating. Like, that's not how I read cards. I think you will know if this is your story. Again, it's coming up as something deep down internally you're already sensing. So again, that intuition, if you're having dreams about this, yes, I would maybe look into it. If that doesn't, you know, make sense to you, liar, cheater, thief, the secret comes to the surface. Maybe the secret is that you've been putting out resumes and haven't told your boss, and finally it's like, hey boss, can I take you or borrow 5 minutes? Like, I have something to tell you. And boom, the secret, hey, like, I have a new job. It could be something like that. The secret comes out. It doesn't have to be bad. It could actually be to your advantage. Let's clarify it. What is this messages about this secret? Particularly if the secret woman is a Cancer. Doesn't have to be, though. Doesn't have to be. Or a water sign. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Yeah, it's like they may have been giving their cup to someone else. An Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, so it's a new opportunity, and I will say this. It's something that's going to help you grow. It's an opportunity. It's a seed. This seed can be planted and can grow into something positive. I like that. It lessens the blow of, oh my god, what is this crazy secret? It's good. It's an ace. It starts with you. So that's what I mean. This secret may actually be you coming out to tell somebody something. And maybe it's just that thing you've always needed to say to your person but never had a chance to. You know, Capricorn season, let's close out those karmic cycles, those karmic relationships. Let's seek closure. Like, let's get it done once and for all so we can put this bullshit down, so we can walk away from this victoriously, so we can liberate ourselves from all this like wasted energy on something that it needs a little bit of communication. We need to tie it up in a good way. I'm so sorry, you guys, my camera froze. So somebody regrets something they did or said in the past, and that's sort of what this is. Whatever wasn't spoken on or wasn't said or wasn't acted upon, I think there's an opportunity to at least come forward with it, to make peace with whatever it is. And again, whether or not you want this seed to grow into a tree regarding your relationship or your career, some opportunity comes about that promotes positive growth that was otherwise hidden, secret, and I do want to say in the subconscious, or something you've always dreamed about, right? We all have this like Neptunian, Cancerian energy, the moon, right? When you're asleep at night dreaming, something you've always dreamed about, maybe you take practical steps forward to actually make it a reality. In Capricorn season, right? Earth, work, do the work, right? The Chariot. Double Cancerian energy. Yeah, how are we going to drive this chariot forward? You have to balance your dark and your light energies, right? So you need to be in a good place. Your health, your body needs to be in a good place. If there's some uncertainty about illness, you may actually go to the doctor to figure out what is wrong. So again, you can recuperate your health. That's what's going to drive your chariot forward. Something about, if it's not literal travel, moving forward on an opportunity. It's a card of victory, by the way. So again, I wouldn't be overly concerned with like the secret. Again, I'm not trying to, promote fear. The Chariot is a card of victory, success. Look at the progress we've made. It's progress on the seed that you haven't been talking about. I went, shh. Like, you haven't been talking about it. It's been secret. And maybe that's what I was saying earlier. Like, some of you think you need to ask for permission to chase that dream, that goal you have to be the King of Pentacles, whether male or female, right? There's some sort of thing you want to go after, but you haven't been able to tell anyone. You've been doing it in secret, and it's killing you, right? Because maybe you're worried the person isn't going to take it well. Maybe they're going to be defensive. Maybe you're terrified of what your father's going to think. All these scenarios. Bringing it up into the surface will offer you relief. If at nothing else, it's going to help rebalance your heart and your head. There's a victory here once something comes to the surface, and once you put some practical effort into growing it, into developing it. All right, final advice or guidance. Closing out of cycles, a card of Scorpio. You do have a couple cards of Scorpio here as well, if that means anything to anyone. And I believe that's your divine pairing, right? Taurus and Scorpio. All right, so let's see what that's all about. Welcoming the ending of something. It's good. You don't want to carry this around anymore, whatever it is. It's bad blood, it's anxiety, it's depression, it's regret, it's fear, it's loss, it's resentment of others. Whatever this is, it's like we need to, if there's anything left to salvage from this relationship, this romantic partnership, this career spread, whatever this is, if there's something left to salvage, it's like you need to save it and nurture it so it can grow in like a better environment. Maybe this Chariot means get the hell out of there. Put this seed in new soil. Like, it will not thrive here. Maybe that's what this is all saying, right? Give this little seed a chance to grow into something that it is supposed to. And with the Page, it's not brand new. It's something you've already had the idea of it. The epiphany, it's kind of already there, but maybe it's up and out. It's in your subconscious. We have to bring it into the reality, into the 3D. You have the Emperor twice, too. So again, lots of kind of like twin flamey energy, specifically a card of Aries. Your boss, your career. Tradition, rigidity, very extremely dominant masculine energy. Could absolutely be your father. The Emperor is what's blocking you from capitalizing on this seed, from moving forward, from growth, from making important choices, from finding love and partnership. You're worried that everything is going to come crashing down if you were forced to show this seed to the Emperor in the light of day, to be truthful, to be honest, to communicate, to verbalize what it is that you need to say. It's not coming out, but it needs to. And I think a lot of you are fearful of the Emperor. Maybe you're fearful that you don't know what you want to do. That could be it as well. All right, sorry, as I ramble. Why are we being shown death for Taurus's career? Strength. Endurance to keep carrying on even when you think you can't, even when you want to give up, even when you want to lay down and die, right? This is asking you to muster your energy, your fire. This is a card of Leo, right? King of the jungle. We're fire energy. This is asking you who or what you are passionate about, and are you willing to fight for it? And how, too. Like, there's different ways. Like, I almost want to say, are you going to fight fire with fire? That's what I said at the very beginning. I said, she looks angry, he or she, right? It's like, you got things to say. You want your voice to finally be heard. So maybe I'm not here to tell you how to do it. I'm presenting it as it comes. Fighting fire with fire. Is that going to bring your story, your chapter, to a conclusion that you feel good with, that you no longer have to carry it around anymore? Or is it going to make it worse? Be careful how you choose to wrap up this cycle. But death is about welcoming in change, right? Releasing people we don't need, cutting out people or things we don't need in our life, so that there's freedom, so that you can just like sail away on a cloud, off to the next dream, do something else, right? One more card. Some of you are transitioning out of a relationship that you know, it met its requirements in your life. You learned some karmic lessons, but ultimately some of you might be severing a relationship to go off and pursue something with a Leo. Or something about a reunion of a family. Again, if like the whole baby daddy scenario where baby daddy left, you might be trying to reinstate some sort of value where there can be like, I do want to say like mother and father, at least involvement in a child's life. Revealing people who wear false masks. Yeah, you have 2 more 9s. Closing out of cycles. For some of you, this may involve a Virgo. And yeah, some of you may decide you're more at peace when you're on your own, when you're by yourself, because it's allowing you to focus on your own life and what you want to grow, what it is that you want to thrive. If you love something, set it free. If it comes back to you, you'll know it was yours to begin with. That's sort of what's coming through here. There's a maturity here. It's like here you're focused on your education, yourself, your independent growth, your spiritual growth. The bird, the relationship, if you will, is set free. If it comes back, it's yours. There's a chance where this could come back, but it's asking you to focus on yourself. Virgo and Venus, she's the self-made woman, the self-made man, right? She leads a very rich and abundant life because she's worked tremendously hard to be where she is today. Again, that exists in your subconscious, but you're not quite there yet. Putting in the work into whatever it is you're dreaming about to escape this temporary situation that feels like hardship, that feels like abandonment, that feels like you'll never get through it. Yeah, strength, endurance. You can do this. You know, be a warrior goddess. That's sort of what I'm getting from that. It's going to take strength. Something about sneaking away keeps coming up, and it's not always a bad thing, guys. Again, the secret, something that I don't know, maybe you're doing a business on the side and you haven't told your boss or your mom or your romantic partner. There's something valid in sneaking away, though, in sneaking off to do something. If it's in high alignment with your goals and with your dreams, all these cards are sort of indicating there's a desire to escape. I'll say it like that. There is a desire to escape from what? And it's not bad, but what are you running from? And then equally, why are you trying to force someone into a commitment that doesn't serve them or you on your own individual path of spiritual growth? Scorpio, Leo, and Virgo, those 3 specific signs may play a key role in the coming months. I want to say January into February. This is also saying to me the fear of going at it alone. You're going through a difficult time, but at least you're struggling with somebody. Here, it's like you're doing the same thing, but you're alone. Look, she's lost, right? She's got her torch up. She doesn't know which direction to go. Don't be afraid to not know all the information. Don't limit yourself of not moving forward with the seed, with whatever it is you want to grow. Just because you don't know the outcome yet, because you don't know the map, you don't know the direction you want to take it, it's still worth examining why you want to do this. And again, to take practical steps towards that. Rome wasn't built in a day. I always say that. Take the first step. Like, take the plunge. Give it a chance to thrive in a new environment, on a new shoreline. Final advice for Taurus. Final advice for Taurus. All right, you have dance. Take inspiration from the moonlight, dancing on the surface of the sea. Absolutely. Travel. Dance, exercise. Music is going to be therapeutic for a lot of my Tauruses. And rescue. Help others in need or ask for assistance when you need it. Absolutely. And this last one. Dive. You don't find pearls on the seashore. Yeah, with the Chariot and the Six of Swords, there's something greater to be explored. There's something greater to be discovered, and it's something that's going to bring you joy and happiness and celebration. Committing to some sort of activity or path or relationship where your cup runneth over, it makes your heart sing with happiness to be in this environment with this group. That's something worth pursuing. Absolutely. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. This has been a long reading. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what resonates for you, Taurus, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye!